Hey guys, just to explain the latest feature that's been added, which is the testing framework. Of course, it's still under development, but you can see an example here. So let me start with this. There are three different test files here. It says this, and there's a contract, a sample contract, which is created by default when you start with Sol IDE. So it gives you this, you see this contract, and then you see this test case here. So this is a simple test case that tests what this contract is and tries to make it work or fail, depending on what the test is about. But this test is all supposed to pass based on the way it is written here. So this is an example of a test file that we want to use the testing framework on Sol IDE to shoot implementation. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to run all the tests, but like I said, there are different test files. There's this, and there's this, and you can see that there are different type of test cases. This is an artifact test case, which probably works best for like hard hats. Then this works with a JavaScript test file, which is like using Mocha to like test. So basically what this is just, once I run the all test, it's going to give you a lot of analysis on how this guy works and if everything works successfully. So the first test here, I have 3 test files, and you can see it also from this place. You can see tests, test. So if I go here and I run this again, it's not persistent yet, but it will be when I'm done with it, and probably is on the live link. So the next thing you see is you see this 6 test pass, 1 test fail, 3 test suits, 0 milliseconds total duration. And then this is where you want to create a tests file, but I'm not using this now. I just want to show you guys the result. And so these are the breakdown of the tests. So the first thing you see here, you see all the tests for the simple storage.test.js passes. So this is just to test the simple storage contract, which is this guy here. So that works. So the second one is the one.test.js, which is testing the example contracts, right? The first test is, before you do that, check if it is deployed and then assert that everything is okay. But that's basically what it is. So then the third one passes. So this fails, right? 1 test fail, 1 test pass here. Then the third one, you have to correct pass, the test pass in here. And then you have the coverage reports for each of the contracts or each of the test files that you've tested. And if you have, based on also the contract that you selected to test for. So there we've seen the test cases. This is 100% lines, function represents, all the tests are covered. Here, 25/59 is covered. Functions is 5/10 because only one passed and then the other one failed. And here too, all of them passed in this case. So just a simple breakdown of what is happening and what was tested and what failed and all of those things. So that's the first thing here. So the reason why this failed here, it should fail because this example contract has not been deployed. Now, if you want to verify that, go to the deploy contract. You can see from here, deploy contracts has only been 2 contracts has been deployed, which is the other app and the counter app. The example contract is not deployed. So automatically that should not work. So if I see the counter one, you can see it's checking the counter contract and it's deployed. So that means it has been deployed, so it can pass that because it's deployed. But this fails because it has not been deployed. So this is just a simple breakdown of the test framework and how it works. So if I want to create another test also, I can decide to create for the other file and call it other, and it creates other.test.js automatically. I can go and verify here and I'll see other.test.js with a sample test implementation based on the framework I selected from the configuration. So there are 3 different frameworks to choose from. Truffle, Relief, yeah, but it's just going to be Mocha at that for now. It's just for those 2 to work. So because I selected Mocha, it's going to automatically create a sample test file based on this Mocha for me to use. So if I choose like add that now, it's going to do the same thing. It's going to create a test file of this nature, artifact that required like that. So this is basically how the testing framework on Sol IDE works. There's still a lot of like UI touches to do here, but basically the functionality works, but we still room for improvement. So yes, this is how it works. So hope you guys kind of understand how to navigate around it and use it to test your contract, whether on desktop. I will need to understand the works on Mocha, so I will try to make sure it is compatible with mobile devices and small screen devices as well. So yeah, that's all for this video. Thank you guys for watching. Catch you guys in the next one. Bye for now.